Hey YouTube,
What up?
we're back.
Again.
Don't sound so enthusiastic. Anyway, today's topic is, I guess the expectations. I don't know who they're set by, and this is solely our opinion. Of course, there's no science behind it, but that's what YouTube is for. It's pretty much.
My opinion is law.
Anyway, she really thinks that. How cute. But anyway, so it's solely just about, I guess, who sets the bar for college students, typically comparing the fashion, I guess, expectations of an HBCU and a non-HBCU. And we have two experiences. She comes from an HBCU.
Yeah.
I do not. I come from, I wouldn't say the complete opposite, but I guess
the complete opposite.
In the same city, though, oddly enough. And I don't think we're going to put out what schools we're talking about.
Yeah.
We'll just leave it at that. So, the other day I was on Twitter. I'll just tell the reason why. The other day I was on Twitter and I saw a tweet about something about, it's hot outside or it's warming up or something like that. So girls, oh no, that's not what it was. I was watching YouTube. I'm sorry. I was watching YouTube and I was watching a girl that I watch pretty regularly. I can't think of her name. I will shout her out, but I can't think of the name. But I watch her pretty regularly, and it was just a small, tiny little comment that really had me thinking. And she was doing a hair review, and she felt like the hair she had was too glamorous for every day, and she probably wouldn't recommend wearing the hairstyle, of course, just for every day, going to class, going to school, possibly going to work. And she was like, well, I also go to a HBCU, so, we dress up every day for no reason. So after I watched it, I text babe and I was like, do you feel like people at HBCUs, particularly the young black girls, care way more about their appearance? I guess, and I wouldn't say that they should, but they do a lot. They do the most at the most weirdest, inopportune times that normal people, I wouldn't say normal, that sounded bad, that people typically wouldn't think to do, and especially when the sun come out. But then she shed a little light on the fact that even when it's raining, it's like you walking around a traditional campus with potholes and crossing streets and walking off curbs and all types of splashing in mud and rain and just being wet and nasty. But they walk around still. If they have rain boots on, it's Coach, Louis, Michael Kors, and the outfit for the rain boots. Now, I know you shouldn't just walk around looking completely crazy, but I'm talking like a full outfit, head to toe, just made for the rain. I think it's a little bit much for 8 o'clock classes or, even later classes. I just think it's a little bit much. And I don't come from HBCU. And my campus was pretty much traditional, of course. People walked. It wasn't downtown or anything like
Predominantly white when she means traditional.
Predominantly white. The campus, I'm talking about the setup of the campus. People walked, of course.
I don't know why.
Appropriate weather, cold and raining, you dress you didn't dress completely down and bummed out, but you kind of dress for the weather, but it's just not such a fashion show. Pretty much that's what I'm trying to say. It's a fashion show at HBCUs for usually no reason. And then it just got me thinking, like, even bigger, it's like that in society, I think, as a whole, with black people compared to every other race. I feel like they put on a lot for each other to not have the nicest style so much even, but to have either the newest, which if it's newest, 9 times out of 10, a million people got it. Everybody are already on it if it's new. But you gotta have it. I gotta have this. I gotta wear this. I gotta have my romper on every Sunday and Wednesday. I still didn't say what school was.
You just put us out there. No, time
I gotta have a romper on. I gotta have my little gladiator sandals on. I gotta have my natural at this time of season. And if I do get the natural, it's gotta be dyed red or blonde.
Hold on. So you trying to say the natural is seasonal?
No, but when it comes to weave, yes.
Okay, can I go?
But anyway, that's pretty much how it started. So I guess I'll let her speak on it. That was a question I posed to her. Do you feel like HBCUs, people put on more than, of course, compared to other colleges, just for no real reason, no real occasion, just because. So, I'll let you go now.
Now you gonna let me go?
I had to set the stage.
You said it. You put it out there.
Okay.
You built the stage.
Moving on.
Move it. Yeah. So once the question was posed to me, at first, my initial answer was what? No. But then I kind of thought, I was like, kinda.
Yeah.
I was like, even though I dress, in male's clothing, I still feel the need to get, not fly, but I can't be bummy going to class.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I go
raining. I'm just saying.
I go to a HBCU or whatever. It's gonna remain nameless. She just kind of put us out though, because not another HBCU has that event. But
we'll see. Who knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Any day, any given day, if it's something going on campus, you just going to class, you just going to the cab. At the minimum, you gotta put on some nice jeans or some nice sneakers, and at the minimum, an Aeropostale shirt or like American Eagle, polo,
crew neck, V-neck.
At the minimum. And if you have on like gym shorts, it's gotta be like Jordan, Nike. You gotta have a matching shirt and like the fresh kicks with the with the Nike socks, or you got on the slide. You got on the Nike slides and the Nike book bag and the Beats by Dre. Like, dress down is still a whole occasion. Like, you have to plan your dress down outfit. Like, oh man, I can't wear my sweatpants today because I don't have my red Jordan shirt and my socks, and then I don't know my shoes and my J's unclean. Like, sweatpants is still an occasion. Like, everything is dressed up. Everything is important. Everything's to the max. And I mean, I started to think about it like, yeah, I do partake into the foolishness and the nonsense, because it's just weird. Like, if I go to campus and I'm not feeling good, or if it's raining, or if it's just a regular day and I'm just like not in the mood, I might throw on like some sweatpants and a t-shirt and a fitted and just go to class. I get to class and people like, oh, what's wrong with you? You don't feel good? You sick? Like, it's got to be something wrong with you for you to not be on it every day, all day.
Name brand head to toe.
Yeah, like, if you don't have on
crazy
labels, or unless your style is just different, like, some people just like vintage, or some people just, they dress alternatively, and you understand that. But like, if you in a regular fashion phase, in a regular time frame of fashion in the HBCU, it's labels. Polo. When I first came to college, it was like Rockaware and all that stuff. Right now it's moving more towards like polo. Some people still wearing the Rockaware, but everything's more like metro, urban, streamline type thing or whatever. And yeah, so it's a job going to class. Going to class is a job. Definitely, if you only have one class and you go bummy, like, you'll go all the way back to the room and change to just not have any more classes. I know a lot of people that'll wake up and just throw something on to go to the 8 o'clock, and then they'll come back at 9 o'clock, 50 minutes later now, and get fly for the rest of the day and don't have no more classes just to hang out on campus. I mean, but baby went to a predominantly white school.
And it just wasn't like that, I guess. I'm not saying that because it's a fashion show that the education does not come first. Of course, I'm sure people still make their grades and they graduate and move on to have careers and all that. But I feel like a lot of the reason is, for one, education is definitely at the forefront. I mean, the school I went to, not that all HBCUs are easier, but it was hard. It was a lot of work. It was a lot of rules. It was a lot of things that at her HBCU they didn't have. And I found it really, really weird. Because she's really the first person I really, really messed with that went there and I really talked to and have been around. And the differences were so vast in our procedures, our rules, stuff that really should be universal college stuff. It just didn't apply there. And I feel like a lot of the reason is we know why. I'm not going to say it, but I feel like a lot of it is clearly we know why. So I guess I have more of a workload, less time, it seems, and you expected to make, the grades and actually do the work. Like, do the work. It's not freebies. There's rarely giving you second chances. Whatever emergency was, you just have to eat that. You didn't make that test. Oh well, But it's a little bit different at HBCU. So I feel like maybe that's why, because education it's more of a stress and more business and more focused than at this particular HBCU, at least. And you got people running around on campus. I mean, I would say somewhat appropriate. I mean, I don't believe in dressing like a bum all the time by any means and blaming it on the weather. But, you get sick, or you have that early lab, that early class, or that test that you stayed up all night and you had to get right up and pretty much go take the test that early morning. You had really no time in between. Or you have to do a lot of walking. On my campus, it was, like I said, somewhat traditional, a lot of walkways, but everything was just so spaced out. Not as much as, I guess, on her campus, of course, even though there is quite a bit of walking.
We have a transit system.
Whatever.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
We have a transit system.
Like that's
part of HBCU. Transit.
I feel like that's part of the reason, too. So, you just got to dress appropriate. It's not so many heels. It's not so many pumps. It's not so many all of that all the time. Okay. It's not so much of all of that all the time. So that's pretty much just the question proposed. And I guess y'all could let us know what you think and respond. Do you feel like on college campuses, and I feel like in society as a whole, that black people put on a little bit more than other races do because they feel like they need to show off. They need to all the time.
So in other words, to sum this video up, black people, do we or do we not put on the show? You got a video response, you want to comment, we'll comment back, we'll do another video about it. Because as far as the differences, we can go all day about the differences in the HBCU.
But that's the main topic. Just fashion show, education, college. Just, So, when does it get too extreme, I guess?
Yeah, what's too much? Let us know.
What's too much?
All right.